All right, question is, how do I feel about Tesla revealing that it sold 75% of its Bitcoin? How do I feel? I mean, it's about time. I'm surprised it took them so long. We know that a lot of entities, large businesses, funds, big institutions, quote unquote institutions, they peeled back. They may not have sold out, but they certainly peeled back their exposure to the market towards the end of 2021. Talked about this at the time. We went through it. Now it's the people who run the funds, manage the funds, employees of the funds, people related to the funds. Yeah, sometimes there it's mixed bag. I can tell you for a fact there were some people who manage these funds where they'll sell because their client wants it or because it's part of the financial strategy for the fund. But then we'll continue to buy for themselves. It's just because the businesses, they don't really want the Bitcoin. The whole point of getting into this, I mean, maybe, okay, MicroStrategy, fine. And there are probably a few others where that's like a lifelong corporate asset that they want. For the most part, whether it's Bitcoin or anything else that they put in a corporate treasury, the goal is to make money or to eventually use that as a way to have money for the business, for business operations. So if push comes to shove and they have to choose between an asset or money for the business, generally speaking, they'll choose the money for the business unless there's some sort of compelling need or maybe their strategy already accounts for or takes into account any drop in the price of Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. They all manage it their own way, but just not for the end goal of hodl, accumulate, stack sats. Generally speaking, you would expect that they're looking to do the opposite. And you can understand why, because in a traditional fund, if you get 10 or 20% a year, that's a good year. 20% is fantastic for a fund. So you get into Bitcoin, like some of these entities, they went in at 40,000. Some of them got lucky, even 30,000, 20,000. Next thing you know, they're sitting there at the end of 2021. They're up 50%, maybe 100%. They're going to sell. And a lot of them did. We saw that, talked about that at the time. If you were subscribed, you remember we talked about that at the time. And Tesla, I guess they were a little laggard on that. I would say that right now, because they've already sold, they sold sometime in the past few months, it's totally irrelevant to whatever is going on right now. And just FYI, whenever you hear about an entity buying, that's bearish. It means they've already bought, their bid has been filled. That's money that's money that will not come back into the market. Now, maybe they come back, they buy a little more in the future, but that buy has already been bought. It's already been absorbed by the market. It will no longer provide buying pressure. And just on the flip side, right, when you hear something sold, somebody's selling, well, look, they've already sold. So that sale, it's gone. Whatever selling pressure it had on the market, that it is now, the market has absorbed that selling pressure. And so that's one less seller. So that's actually kind of bullish. Although I would say don't read anything into it either way. Even at the peak of the market when everybody was talking about institutions, oh my God, institutions. We were up at about a $3 trillion market cap, and as best anybody was reporting, you had somewhere between $70 to $100 billion worth of institutional capital out of a $3 trillion market, which is not insignificant. It's significant, but is it really, I mean, relative to $3 trillion, you're talking about 1/3%. What is it? Wait, hold on 1 second. 10% would be 300, it'd be about 3%. Maybe about 3% of the market. Not insignificant, but you're not talking about like, oh my God, institutions, however. And now it's even less. It's a lot less as a percentage of the market. But it all matters. I don't want to dismiss, I'm not downplaying it at all. In fact, it's a significant event. It's always a significant event, whether that's $10 or $10 billion coming out of the market. But it doesn't surprise me. What surprises me is that it took them so long. And now that it's past us, we can move forward and we don't have to worry about Tesla anymore and Elon Musk. Relax and enjoy the ride.